They laughed at her wooden tent, said it looked like a child's drawing. But when snow crushed 14 traditional homes under 20,000 pounds of weight, that awkward triangle was the only structure still standing. What most people still don't realize? A 60-degree roof can reduce snow load stress by more than half. She knew that at 15. No one else did. Most disasters don't begin with chaos. They begin with dismissal, a pattern noticed, a warning shared, a detail most people decide is overreaction. Communities rarely ignore information because it lacks evidence. They ignore it because it disrupts comfort. This story isn't just about a structure that survived. It's about what happens when observation challenges certainty and certainty refuses to listen. As you watch, pay attention to the moment when doubt turns into consequence and simple physics quietly overrules opinion. Before we continue, answer this in the comments. When it comes to extreme weather, do you trust tradition more or data and patterns? Your answer helps this reach people who understand that preparation starts long before the storm. Now let's go back to the summer when the signs were already there. The warning, no one wanted Emma, did not guess. She observed. All summer she watched the land the way her Norwegian grandmother had taught her. The sandhill cranes left early. Squirrels buried far more food than usual. Bears fed constantly. Tree bark thickened. Even the clouds shifted into formations her grandmother called winter wolves, a sign of Arctic air building strength. The pattern was clear. Winter would arrive early, last longer, and strike harder than normal. When her father repeated her warning at the general store, people laughed. Winter always lasted 4 months, they said. Emma calmly predicted heavy snowfall, extreme cold, and a late thaw. The town council called it panic and demanded she recant publicly or leave. She chose truth over comfort. Building for the winter. They ignored Emma, left without anger. If winter would last 7 months, she needed more than a standard cabin. Traditional rectangular homes carried snow on moderate roof slopes until beams bent and sometimes failed. She had seen roofs sag before. At the sawmill, she noticed a steep, triangular shed. Its roof dropped sharply to the ground, forcing snow to slide off instead of collecting. A triangle sends weight straight downward in compression rather than bending. That geometry made sense. She claimed land and began building an A-frame cabin alone, designed to shed snow instead of holding it. The winter-proof design. The structure rose quickly. A heavy ridge beam formed the spine, with rafters angled sharply downward at 60 degrees. Boards overlapped tightly, and tar sealed every seam. The roof acted as both wall and shield. There were no shallow slopes and no wasted surfaces. Inside, she kept it simple. An earth floor, a raised platform for sleeping, and a small stove placed centrally so heat could rise and circulate. Neighbors mocked the shape, calling it a wooden tent. Emma ignored them. She cut extra firewood, preserved food carefully, and sealed every crack twice. She prepared for the winter she believed was coming. The early arrival. Winter struck on September 23rd with heavy frost, weeks earlier than usual. Snow followed quickly and never fully melted. By November, 3 feet covered the ground. By December, 5. Storms layered snow faster than families could clear their roofs. Beams groaned under weight. Ridge poles sagged. Some families climbed icy rooftops to shovel snow in freezing wind. On December 28th, the first roof collapsed under massive weight. Others followed in the weeks after. By late January, many structures had failed and lives were lost, and winter was far from over. The cabin that refused to break. 10 miles away, Emma listened to storms without fear. Snow did not collect on her steep roof. It slid off in steady waves, piling around the base instead of above her head. While other roofs carried enormous weight, hers held very little at any moment. Each rafter worked in compression, sending force directly into the foundation stones. There was no sagging ridge or bending beam. Inside, the stove warmed the compact interior efficiently. Heat rose and circulated naturally along the angled walls. She used less firewood than most because her design retained warmth. Her cabin was not resisting winter. It was built for it. The return of the mockers. In January, after his own roof collapsed, George Fletcher walked for hours through deep snow to reach Emma. He expected hardship. Instead, he found warmth and stability. He admitted she had been right about the timing, the snow, and the danger. Emma did not boast. She explained simply that shallow roofs collect snow while steep ones shed it. Rectangles bend under uneven loads. Triangles transfer force downward. Through the remaining months, she helped others build temporary steep-pitch shelters. Winter lasted 7 months, just as she predicted, with snowfall exceeding 10 feet. The apology. When spring finally arrived in late April, the town gathered again. This time, it was not to silence her, but to apologize. Her predictions had proven accurate. Her cabin had survived without damage. Emma accepted quietly. She did not celebrate being right. She valued that others had learned. In the years that followed, steep-pitched A-frame homes became common across the region. Builders understood what she had shown. Snow must be shed, not carried. Geometry must work with nature. The girl once dismissed became the example future builders studied in heavy snow country. They laughed because it didn't look finished. They stopped laughing when the snow finished everything else. 14 roofs failed because they were built to carry winter. One survived because it was built to shed it. That's the difference this story leaves behind. Not luck, not bravery, not stubbornness. Preparation beats confidence. Physics beats opinion. And patterns beat pride. Before you go, leave a comment. What moment in this story made you realize the outcome was already decided? I read every response, and your perspective helps others see details they may have missed. And if you enjoy stories where observation quietly outperforms tradition, subscribe. Not for drama, not for exaggeration, but for the next time a simple idea challenges something everyone assumes is good enough. Because the next storm won't ask who felt right. It will only reveal who prepared right. And you'll want to see which idea stands when it hits.